My name is Mike Wohlberg. I'm an illustrator and designer based in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. I have a day job like every other artist because art pays nothing, but I've been steadily doing work for bands since 2006, and obviously a lot of work for Rosetta. I met up with Armine and we were planning a trip to New York, and he's like, oh, there's somebody who's doing a documentary on Rosetta. Would you mind if he joined us and like kind of filmed us walking around New York for a while? And I was like, okay, whatever. It was a little odd to get used to having somebody kind of run out in front of you and film you, thinking to yourself, be natural, be natural, be natural. From there, Justin asked if I would be willing to be interviewed for the documentary, and I was like, of course, that would be wonderful. It kind of just evolved into, well, how would you feel about doing the art for the documentary? Anything that is Rosetta related, I'm always happy to help with. You know, I feel really fortunate that people can associate my work with that. It's crazy to see that kind of reaction for, you know, a band not necessarily as big as some of my other clients. Justin gave me an idea of how the documentary was going to look. So he mentioned that there was going to be space imagery, mechanical imagery. So I knew in my head, I didn't want it to be a rehash of something else that I'd already done for Rosetta. I wanted it to be new. It wasn't until I actually got to sit down with the materials that I had a better sense of what direction to go in. I don't think of myself as an artist who's talented enough to know exactly what the image is going to be like in my head and then perfectly replicate it on the page. Nor do I necessarily think that's the best method. I started off with just a circle. If it's going to be a documentary about a band such as Rosetta, I wanted it to be monolithic. So a single planet in the center of the page. And then from there, you start doing research. And one of the first photos I found was of the Galilean satellites. Immediately, I went and grabbed a picture of Europa and thresholded it, and I was like, all right, this is the core of the image. And then the physical satellite, the mechanical satellite, appeared, and then that had a very direct effect where it's like, all right, now we have two players. And then I start bringing up machine diagrams, picturing in my head as I'm flipping through the library, you know, what fits in this composition, not only compositionally, but thematically. There was a lot of collaging pieces in, taking stuff out, rearranging. It's not a concrete image, so you have to think more abstractly. And it's the idea of the transmission of data from one spot to another. And then that's when you get these nice echoing concentric circles that are reflecting back into the planet. This one just seemed to come together more organically and not so forced. Once the image looks like an actual piece of art, that's when I get really excited. That's when it's, you know, 2 o'clock in the morning and, you know, I'm adding highlights to something or, you know, putting some splatters or, you know, something, and this collection of lines and colors becomes an actual form. It was a really exciting thing to me. I'm somebody else who's fortunate enough to participate more than most people. But at the end of the day, I'm still a fan.